Some animals are born to run, some are born to hide. You're born to break into another creature, kill part of its body, and steal that body part's job for yourself. You're born to become a tongue. Yeah. Let that one sink in. But that's the ending. Let's rewind to where it all kicks off, in the cold black middle of the ocean, where you start out as basically nothing. You hatch into open water smaller than a grain of sand. You've got legs, eyes, a tiny body already shaped like the thing you'll grow into, but right now, you're useless. You're one of thousands of specks dumped into a sea that does not care if a single one of you makes it. And the second you're born, a clock starts ticking. Here's the problem. You can't hack it out here. You're not built to cruise the open ocean. You're built for one job, and if you don't pull it off fast, you just run out of gas and die. You've got days, maybe less, and in that time you have to find something almost impossible to find. You have to find a fish, not just any fish, the right fish, swimming somewhere in all that nothing. And you can't chase it down. You can barely swim. All you can do is drift, hang in the dark, and hope one wanders close enough. Most of your brothers and sisters, dead before they even get a shot. They drift until the tank hits empty, then sink into the black, picked off or just gone. The ocean is a graveyard for things like you, and the odds you're one of the lucky ones are brutal. And starving isn't even the worst of it. Out here, you're lunch. You're a soft, slow, bite-sized snack floating in plain sight, and just about everything bigger than you would gulp you down without thinking twice. Little fish pick your siblings off one by one. Currents yank you around, dragging you away from any host you might have reached. No parents, no shell, no speed, just you, a fuel tank running on fumes, and a giant blue void that's basically built to kill you. But let's say you get lucky. Let's say a shape slides out of the blue and drifts right past you. A fish, your whole reason for existing, cruising by like it's no big deal, and every instinct you've got screams one word: go. You throw yourself at it. You grab onto scales, fins, anything you can dig into, and you start climbing, not across its body, but up toward the head, toward the gills, those soft red slits where the water pumps in and out, and you slip inside. The fish barely even notices. No bite, no fight, no alarm bells going off. To it, you're just another speck riding the current into its gills, the same water it breathes 1,000 times a day. By the time anything feels wrong, you're already home. And home doesn't let go. This is the moment everything flips, because once you're in, there's no backing out. You just left the open ocean behind for good. From here on, your entire universe is the inside of this fish. You'll never swim free again. You traded the whole sea for a dark, wet, pulsing room behind a fish's jaw. And get this, that's the good outcome. Inside the gills you lock down and start feeding. You drink the fish's blood, straight from the tap, and you grow. But here's where your story splits in two, and which path you land on comes down to dumb, savage luck. See, you were born a guy. Every single one of you starts male. But your species runs on a ruthless rule. The first one to reach a fish, the one who gets biggest, strongest, fastest, transforms. You flip sex. You become female. And you grab the biggest prize your kind can win. You push forward, out of the gills, into the mouth itself, toward the one spot every tongue-eating louse is built to conquer. The base of the tongue. Don't get there first. Tough break. Somebody already claimed the throne, and that's as far as you go. You stay male. You stay small. You hang back in the gills and wait for a shot that might never come. Your whole life, stuck lurking in the dark behind somebody else's win. And you won't be lurking alone back there. A single fish can end up packing a whole crew of you, one female running the show up front in the mouth, a line of males crammed into the gills behind her, all riding the same host, all waiting on the same long shot. It's a harem built inside a living animal, and most of the guys in it never touch the throne. They just live, breed, and die back in the dark. But let's say you won the race. You're the female now. Time to do the one thing your whole body was built for. You crawl to the tongue, that thick muscle on the floor of the mouth, and you grab it with sharp, hooked legs. Then you start taking it. You clamp down on the blood vessels keeping that tongue alive and you choke off the supply. No blood, no tongue. The muscle starts to starve. It shrinks. It dies. Bit by bit, the fish's own tongue rots away under you, until there's almost nothing left but a stub where a tongue used to be. It's a slow execution in total darkness, and the fish can't do a thing about it. Can't reach you. Can't scrape you off. Doesn't even know what's happening. It just swims on, day after day, while the tongue it was born with dies in pieces under the grip of a thing that crawled in through its own gills. And that stub, that's your throne. Nothing else in the animal kingdom pulls this off. Plenty of parasites latch on, plenty leech, burrow, or freeload. But you don't just rob the body. You replace a working part of it and keep that part running. Evolution basically looked at the idea of a living organ transplant and handed the whole job to a bug. You settle onto it, lock on with those hooked legs, and make yourself at home in the empty space you just carved out. Your long, pale, segmented body now sits exactly where a tongue should be. And here comes the part that earned your kind a permanent spot in people's nightmares. You don't just live in the mouth, you become the tongue. When the fish opens up to eat, it presses food against you, same as it used to press food against the real thing. You move, you flex, you help it work its meals. The fish keeps living, keeps hunting, keeps eating, using you, a literal parasite, as a working replacement for the organ you just destroyed. You are the only creature on Earth that wipes out a host's body part and then clocks in to do that body part's job. And there's no off switch, no vacation, no stepping out for air. Every meal that fish ever eats again, for the rest of its life, runs straight over you. You feel all of it. The cold water, the panicked prey, the crush of those jaws, the slow drip of blood that keeps you alive. This is your whole world now, and it's about the size of a mouth. Think about what that actually means for you. The rest of your life gets spent locked inside a fish's mouth. No sky, no open water, just darkness, the rush of water and prey blasting past every time those jaws crack open, and the constant taste of somebody else's blood. You feed on the fish, blood, mucus, scraps of its meals, taking just enough to live without killing the thing you live inside. Because if it dies, your house and your food die right along with it. So you play it smart. You're the tenant who keeps the building standing. You skim a little, leave the rest, and let your host go on living its weird new life with a bug for a tongue. But don't kid yourself about what you are. You're not safe. You're buried alive in a body that could get ripped open by a predator any second, swallowed whole along with your host, left to dissolve in the gut of whatever ate your home. The walls of your prison are made of living meat, and they can give out with zero warning. And love? Yeah, even that goes down in here. The males still hiding back in the gills make their way to you, and you mate inside the mouth of your living host. You carry your eggs in a pouch on your belly, tucked into the one safe corner of this whole nightmare. And when they are ready, you let them go, thousands of fresh little specks, flushed out through the fish's mouth and into the open sea. They don't know what they are yet. They don't know the clock is already running, or what they'll have to do to win. Give it a few days, and the smart money says most of them are already gone. And then, it all starts over. Your kids scatter into the same uncaring ocean, racing the same impossible clock, hunting the same near impossible fish, most of them dead before they even get going. The handful that make it crawl into the gills, fight to flip female, and take a tongue of their own. Same horror, passed down, generation after generation, forever. So let's circle back to where we started. You were born to become a tongue, and now you get the full weight of it. You start as a fragile speck flung into an ocean that wants you dead, racing a clock you usually lose. Win that, and your big reward is to crawl inside a living creature and lock yourself in for life. You murder an organ and wear its spot like a crown. You spend your whole existence in the wet dark of a mouth that isn't yours, breathing blood, helping the exact animal you mutilated eat its dinner, stuck in the strangest prison nature ever cooked up. You'll never see open water again. You'll never be anything more than a parasite squatting in the ruins of the thing you wrecked. And the only mark you leave on the world is more of your kind, sent out to pull off the exact same horror show. That's what it means to be born a tongue-eating louse. Your greatest win, the prize your whole body was designed to chase, is to become a tongue inside a stranger's mouth, and to never, ever leave. Be glad you weren't born as one.